Good morning, I'm Raj Narayan and I'm here with Tweak the Week, our weekly show on Bits and Banter, where we look at some of the interesting developments that happened over the week and which we found interesting, of course. I keep saying this every week, just to remind you that there are many more interesting things than the ones that we find, which is perfectly fine. So, hi Bala, once again, good morning.
Good morning, Raj. Nice to meet you.
We are here to talk about why the Ahmedabad test finished in 2 days. Yeah, because there was a meme which said that Ravi Shastri said he can't stay in a dry state for more than 2 days. So I don't know. So now, now the problem is the point we are going to discuss. This meme could actually be asked to be taken down, isn't it? There is a possibility.
Yeah, that's a nice segue to bring in the topic of the week.
So what I'm going to do is, so I'll just give you a bare basic, and then Bala is the expert here. I have no clue what I'm talking about. Yeah, then there are two of us who have no clue what we are talking about. So this is about the new regulations for OTT platforms and digital news that Government of India announced. Very good. It doesn't concern all of us at the rock bottom level. All I want to bring in, say before I bring Bala in and ask him to sort of define what it is, the self-regulatory code for OTT platforms. I mean, I'm sure you would know that OTT platforms has a lot of nudity, sexual violence, drug use, stuff like that. And the 17 major OTT platforms had come together and signed a sort of a self-regulatory code last year. Which the Government of India said, you know what, you guys, I mean, this doesn't work. And it was signed under the aegis of the Internet and Mobile Association of India, IMAI. Sounds very weird, but that is the way they're, and it was called an implementation toolkit, and they gave various names, but government said, no, this doesn't work. So we are coming out with our own, which they did. So Bala, let's take the OTT platforms first, because that is our favorite, because we watch movies.
Yeah.
What is new here?
See, it is not new. I mean, let's also include social media and the digital platform.
We'll bring it in.
We'll bring it in because I'm going to include all the three together, because what the government has come up with is a three-tier mechanism. I'm making it very simple. The three-tier mechanism is for redressals for the various complaints that you and I or anybody else may have with reference to social media output or OTT output or even the digital media output. See, the first tier is within the organization itself. You have a complaint with a certain thing. There is a nodal redressal team within the organization. So you and I can take it to it, and they have to redress it within 15 days. Yeah. So they have a team. See, it changes from OTT platforms, social media platforms, but basically they must have a redressal team within the organization, and it has to be resolved within 15 days. If that doesn't happen to the satisfaction of the person who is complaining, then there is the second tier which comes in. The second tier involves then again, it is another committee that is going to be headed by either a Supreme Court judge or a High Court judge or a person of eminence from the various fields.
Oh, you and I have a chance.
You and I certainly have a chance.
Excellent, man.
So, excellent. So this again goes to the other committee, and the rest of the committee is again formed by the people within the organization.
Okay.
If this doesn't satisfy, then comes the third tier, which is typically government babus, bureaucrats, which is an inter-ministerial committee. And this is where the nub lies, Raj.
Okay. So, that is quite interesting, because the moment you hear inter-ministerial committee, you sort of,
that's where I paused, because I wanted you to take over.
Yeah, the image that comes to me is like red tape flying around.
Exactly.
Like that.
If you are making a animation out of it, that is exactly what you will come up with.
Yeah. So before we go further on that, we'll get to the interministerial committee. That, I mean, it's such a mouthful, man. I mean,
exactly, and it involves multiple ministries.
I know.
It involves INB, it involves Law Ministry, it involves IT Ministry, it involves women and child welfare, so many other things.
Even Fisheries Ministry. No, I'm kidding. So
you never know, man. Because anybody who has a complaint is basically fishing in troubled waters.
Yeah. And it can prove very fishy for fishes. So anyway,
Fisheries Ministry is a problematic usage, because there is another controversy.
Which is why I brought it in. Which is why I
Yeah.
brought it in for some other story, some
Yeah,
other time. I'm sure you would have heard about the fisheries ministry. There's a lot going on social media. But before that, Bala, let me just bring in one aspect here, which was very interesting. The INB secretary, Amit Khare, I think his name is.
Amit Khare.
Yeah, he came out with a clarification which was carried by ANI, the news agency, the TV news agency, whatever it is. So I saw a video of Amit Khare claiming one thing very clearly, that look, it is this doesn't mean that there is going to be a censorship of the
OTT.
content that is going on OTT. So like the movies, in movies, you need to submit the movie for a censorship view, which they then decide which is how to classify it. Is it good for viewing for a particular age group, particular whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then if there is supposed to be content that could inflame passions or blah, 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 I'll come to that later. But if something like that is there, the censor board can actually ask for cuts. There is a review committee. There is a big rigmarole of a process that happens there. So Mr. Khare said, no, this is not at the same. He said, all we are saying is the OTT platforms themselves need to classify the movies or the content on their platforms as either +7, +13, +16, or +18. +18 obviously being the adult content.
Yeah, they have 5 classifications.
Yes.
Which is universal, as you said, +7, +13, +16, and adult content. And so, not just Khare, it is also Javadekar, and the INB minister himself. He also clarified right at the press conference on the other day when he came out with his guidance. He also specifically said this does not amount to censorship.
Yeah, one more thing he said is that the only thing that they expect the OTT platforms to do is make that instrument available to parents, so that parents can set up parental locks.
Exactly, parental lock.
Yeah, and things like that. So if the parents want to, if you look at some of the OTT platforms, it actually asks you who is viewing. You can actually set up 4 or 5 viewership.
Exactly.
It's there in Netflix, it's there in Sony Video, I think Amazon. So you can actually do that. So that choice is the parent, and Khare clarified, we don't want to come and say, as a government, you shouldn't watch this content. No, government is not saying that. So let us be very clear about that. And he said the benchmark is international. It is borrowed from there. So there is nothing new here. And it is all about self-classification.
Raj, so that is where the ambiguity lies. The censorship with regard to nudity and other problems, that is certainly not the problem, because they have specific classifications, and the content providers, OTT platforms, they generally don't have a problem. But it is the other content which can inflame passions and other things. That is where if somebody has, and we in India know that a lot of people have a lot of problems with a lot of content. So that is where, and the government has arranged towards itself certain powers where it can swoop in down on platforms and ask for the removal of content without even going through the regular process of cross-checking. If the government uses that particular rule and if it invokes it and asks for the platform to remove it without even a dialogue, without even the platforms having to explain it, they are supposed to remove it. And those content is very ambiguous, and that is where the problem is.
Yeah. So by the way, just so that you guys know, the new rules are under the Information Technology Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code Rules 2021. Again, a mouthful because
very unwieldy.
Yeah, very, very unwieldy. By the time you are done with it, you sort of need a fresh breath of air. I think which is what we would all require to just figure this out. Isn't that right, Bala?
Exactly. So, that's why. See, when you have a ministerial committee and when you have bureaucrats and you provide them with discretionary powers, when the stuff are not clearly laid out, when they are not clearly defined, you are getting into problem, especially in a country like India. And we have seen, I'm just going by what we have experienced across ministries.
So I'll give you an example. So what they are talking about, let me try to explain this a little further. What they are talking about is that OTT platforms cannot stream content that can be deemed as being against the sovereignty and integrity of the country.
Within quotes.
This is the standard stuff which is always there. Exactly. And it endangers the security of state. It's detrimental to India's relations with other countries. and and could incite violence and disturb public order and stuff like that. These are all the terms that are little bit, little bit dubious. Then multi-religious content, or there's a lot of stuff that comes in there, which is why I made that joke about the meme right in the beginning. I'm sure Ravi Shastri probably wouldn't mind having that meme, but then others who will mind.
These are the ludicrous examples that exactly explains the situation. See, Tandav is we'll get to the specific. Tandav is being, it is being stopped. There are issues with Tandav because a few people feel that that UP is being shown in pretty bad light. And this is clearly the situation where a government like in Uttar Pradesh can get into act and they can remove parts that they deem they deem to be offensive. And that is where the problem lies, Raj.
Yeah, correct. You're right. So my point, I think we discussed this earlier also, because when we did a review of Tandav, we said, that time there was another issue about depiction of certain divine figures in a certain way. That came up, and we actually said, I think one of us actually said on air that on the program that you know what, nobody would have seen Tandav but for this controversy. So exactly. so sometimes it works the other way.
Yeah, it is trace and effect.
Yeah. So my point is very simple. Bala, I think you hit the nail on the head. That it is the gray areas which they need to either blacken or white. And we can always argue that life is gray, but the point is apportioning the right to decide that in a situation like this need not rest with a government interministerial committee, whatever that is. So I think there also there needs to be a very quick redress mechanism that is put in place, instead of going into this never-ending loop, and then it creates a lot of bad blood. So that is something we need to figure out. So we'll leave it there for now. Let us quickly discuss also what it means for the digital
media
news
platform.
Yeah, exactly. Over to you, Bala. What do you think it means?
They have a similar, as we said, they have a similar structure. But then again, at the interministerial level, you have a rule where if the government deems certain news, current news, to be offensive, it can tell the news platforms to remove it without giving any explanation or anything. And over and above, there is also where this committee can decide if stuff is defamatory or not, and that can be removed, and they can trust. They don't have to go to the court at all. That is where the representatives of news platforms, they have something called DigiPub, around 11 platforms. They have come together and they have also represented to. They have also written to the government. They have specifically said that this is aligning yourself with judiciary powers, because you bypass judiciary, which is never good. So that is where the problem lies. So defamatory content is something not the court is decided. These committee can decide. And these committees, interministerial committees, are fully by Babus, appointed by the government, and how they work. So that is and another thing, these platforms are also supposed to give in writing, present themselves, who wants it and what is their general structure, because that is where some of the problem lies, because the government believes that some of these online platforms are being funded by foreign forces. Then again, I'm using it within quotes.
So my worry is that, see, now we are talking about, you use some words during your explanation. Like one of the things was that somebody, without going to the courts, they can decide that the content is offensive. Now, does that also include the appearance of people like us? So,
exactly.
So I don't know. As in, like, just the appearance. We don't need to say anything to look offensive. So so I'm a little worried about that. And as far as ownership is concerned, I think that is out in the open. So we are.
It is not out in the open. There, I don't have a problem, because some of the
I'm saying our ownership is out in the open.
That's okay. So that's perfectly fine.
So and for me, I found it one sentence when I was reading, I found it very interesting. I think we'll sort of wind up with this. I've said that the digital platforms need to follow norms of journalistic conduct of the Press Council of India. Now, I didn't know there were any here. So where did that come from?
Press Council is a huge joke, Raj. Let's not get there. Yeah. Because that will bring the worst out of us. You and I have seen it.
So when I was in the media for many years, I used to think PCI is Press Club of India, where I used to go for my evening, you know what. So so I didn't know there was another thing, something which was called there. But yeah, this might be defamatory to the Press Council of India, man, because we don't know as journalists. Well, although that doesn't really tell anything about us as journalists.
Exactly.
Or maybe it tells a lot about us as journalists. I don't know.
Aside from these rules, which are certainly debatable, because today there was an editorial in one of the papers, because there is a problem because news media is being clubbed with social media, which the news media has taken. I mean, they take umbrage at that. Yeah. That's another problem. See, when you come up, you are basically removing IT Act 2000 and come up with a certain set of guidelines. Even though they are debatable, forget about the debating point. You have come out with a new set of legislation. You have basically bypassed Parliament and come up with it. Is that right? Is the another question that is being raised?
Yeah. So essentially, what we are saying is, I think, just to sort of wrap all of this up, there are guidelines. Guidelines are required. We have no problems with that. For example, there are some. I mean, I won't take names here. There are some OTT platforms which is sort of thrived on semi-adult sexual content. So it's
that
there.
Is a problem. That is a problem, especially Indian platforms.
Of Indian platforms without actually building in any safety networks or safeguards in the.
They just purvey soft porn.
Yes. So so if a child is just clicking on it, the child sees what you wouldn't want the child to see at that age. So I'll put it that way. So that is welcome. That is required. The two things which Bala brought up very, very succinctly was, one is that can you arraign yourself the powers of the judiciary and you remove the judiciary from decision making in case there is a dispute, which is not the case with the censor board, by the way. Censor board, you can go to court. Censor board, there is a process that happens there. So that is available. And the third one, which Bala mentioned just now, is even more important. Is this something that need to be discussed in Parliament before it is brought out? Because we are already facing this ruckus around the farm bills. So is this something which could have been done slightly better? Knowing fully well that it is required. There is no doubt about it.
Because especially in the case of digital media, there was also no discussion with the stakeholders.
Yeah.
At least in the case of OTT, there were some discussions prior to these guidelines.
Yeah. So see, now the bigger challenge is that, the issue of whether Facebook or Twitter or any of these guys can open up their data to government. Those are issues which will come up later. The IT Act.
Yeah, because that is where this encryption also is there. End-to-end encryption, because that can be bypassed now, and whether those platforms are ready for it. If the guidelines are accepted, they have to be ready for it.
Yes. Or if they are not ready, will be left cooing for life. Bad pun. I think that is good enough to end the program. So thanks for watching. Share your comments and share and like the Tweak the Week, and send us your thoughts, queries, and ideas on what we should be doing. Like I said, this is Tweak the Week. This is our choice of stuff which we believe needs to be tweaked. So we are always happy to hear from you and also have you on the show. So thanks a lot, Bala. Thanks for
it was my pleasure, Raj.
Yeah, and I'm sure Ravi Shastri is preparing for another 2-day test match. We'll end with that, hopefully. And thanks for watching, and see you soon. Stay safe. Have a great weekend, and bye.
Bye.
See you.